What's up, guys? We're going to be doing a review on the Shadow of War. Middle Earth, the Shadow of War. Now, there will be, just to start out, spoilers. Spoilers. You guessed it. Spoilers. Okay, that's out of the way. Now, alright. This is a phenomenal game. Won't lie to you. Great game. Pros, start out with. Nemesis system has been expanded, which is phenomenal. I love the fact that, there are new traits. Guards have, they come back, or captains come back even if you kill them. You're just like, hey, yeah, we didn't die, remember me? You're just like, shit. And they can betray you, they can do all sorts of things. Captains and war chiefs themselves have phenomenal personalities. They are great. I have so much fun with this game with the Nemesis system that I love the fact that you can do certain things to certain captains and they just remember it. Like for example, I had he's now one of my overlords. I branded him, or actually I shamed him first because he was too high of a level. Then I branded him, and then he joined back up with, like, once I branded him, he like remembers the fact that I shamed him, and he says that he used to be like, he hated the fact that he was, branded, but now he embraces the fact that he's been gifted or like chosen in a sense, and it's awesome seeing that. It's like just how each personality reacts to everything. It's one of those things I love. The Nemesis system is phenomenal, and it's probably one of my favorite parts of the game in itself. It's awesome seeing this. Graphics are phenomenal. Graphics are great. They work well. They look well. They just seem, polished, and it looks nice. I have, no problems with the graphics, and I really don't have much problem with graphics. The game's good. The game is good. Doesn't necessarily need to have good graphics, to be phenomenal. But it looks beautiful. Looks good. You can sit there and say all you want about how like games can look beautiful, but they can still suck. They can still have nothing to it, like, not to throw names, but Battlefront and No Man's Sky. Both, really just beautiful games that had nothing there. So, I mean, you can say all you want, how beautiful a game is, but the game needs to have some content to it, or a story to it, to be good. That is my opinion, though. You don't have to have the same opinion as me, obviously. So, but this is a review, and this is a review. So, I mean, I'm entitled to tell you how I feel. But fighting mechanics feel great. Reminds me a lot of the Arkham City games, the Arkham games. You feels a little bit more like, obviously not as, jumpy as like, by jumpy I mean you don't go from like one target and then go across the map and hit another target. But it reminds me a lot of the Arkham City, and it plays exactly the same as the first game, which is phenomenal too. So you can just literally pick it back up, and that's exactly what I did. I actually played the first game a little bit early on, and then I came back and I was like, all right, this is what I want to do, and I was like, wow, this plays identical to how I played, which is awesome. And the climbing mechanics, again, nearly identical. A lot of fun. That was all the same. And that was one of the things I really enjoyed. I like the stealth aspects and how well you can do with that. And really, you can take on each captain. I always say guard, differently. So like, that is also why I like the Nemesis system. Every captain is different. Every captain has different abilities and different strengths and weaknesses that you have to take every captain, like you have to approach each captain differently. You can't do the same things over and over and over again to a captain, because it gets repetitive. And I also like the fact that the captains adapt to your play. So if you try to do the same thing too many times, they learn that, and they're like, no, you can't do that anymore. So I like that too. Voice acting's great. I know personally that Troy Baker is... I know that Troy Baker is the main actor of Talion, and I think he's a phenomenal voice actor. And really, like, I just call him out because I know he's the only voice actor I know by name that actually does everything. And every voice actor does phenomenal. I loved characters like Idril and Baranor. I thought those characters are really fleshed out and really good. I had a lot of those are two of my favorite characters coming from the game. The guy who plays Bruce, also phenomenal. You know, even though Bruce does betray your ass. You know, he's one of my favorite characters of the game. You know, he has a very great personality in the game, which is great. Pretty sure he's actually in this fight right now. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But yeah, it's a great game. It plays very well. You know, and I love the voice acting. The funny personalities. I love the fact that each orc has a different personality. You know, some are like, for example, there's the poets, and they rhyme and do everything. But then there's like the know-it-alls that do anything, and then there's people that are actually orcs that are actually pretty intelligent, and they say some things that you're just like, whoa, okay, I like you. You know, because they say some funny things and cool things. You know, I love each of the personalities that each orc can have, even like though they can betray you and do certain things to really get on your bad side. I love the fact that each orc has their own personality that differs, and that they can hate other orcs or love other orcs and have a blood brother with them. You know, the whole personality aspect goes way further than I can really describe. You have to really play it to understand. But it's great watching this, because, you know, you can be ambushed by a guy, and he'd be like, you killed my blood brother, you asshole. Like, I'm gonna kill you now. It's like, okay, well, I gotta do this now. And then some can betray you to try to further their power. And, you know, it's hard to... Again, it's something you gotta kind of just play through, and it's one of those experiences where you play it, and you're just like, wow, that is awesome. Like, this is phenomenal. You know? And... it was challenging. I did have some challenges with it, you know. It was one of those games that wasn't too easy, wasn't too hard. I had a lot of fun. It's definitely beatable. It's definitely doable, you know. It's all about how your style of play, you know. It's a lot of fun though. I can't stress enough about how fun this game was, because it's awesome. It is awesome. The story was phenomenal, you know. It continues literally right where you left off with Talion and Celebrimbor. I hope I'm saying that right. Now, it's kind of... I'm disappointed. I'm not even disappointed. Like, I hate the fact that it happens, but I love the fact that it happens, because it's a great part. It's a great part of the story. How Celebrimbor basically just says, fuck you. And you know, that was probably the part of the story where I was really like, no fucking way. Like, that can't even happen. Like, it really blew me away seeing that could happen. And that how Celebrimbor betrays, you know, Talion and everything like that. That not even betrays, he just like abandons him and leaves him to die. He's used as a vessel. And then the fact that that ties into the lore too, and that's how the Eye was created. The Eye is basically Celebrimbor and Sauron fighting each other and consistently battling each other, and that is, I love how they tied that into the lore. I honestly, that knowing how that was created, and you know, there are locations that are scattered throughout the land that you can kind of look at, and I'm pretty sure it's in the appendices. I think that's how you say it. But you can look and see all the history with certain locations and, you know, certain characters, and how it tells you how Menace Morgul was made. And Menace Morgul appears in the movie. It even has Menace Tirith in there, which also appears in the movie. And then I couldn't even pronounce it. It starts with an O, but it's between Menace Morgul and Menace Tirith, and it's where Faramir fights in the third one, the third movie. And it's very lore friendly, and it ties in really well and really connects the dots. Because one of the things I was wondering towards the end of the game is, how is this all gonna connect, in a sense? Because the wars, like War of the Ring, is gonna come very, very soon. How is that gonna tie in? Like, Talion obviously isn't in the movies. Like, how is that gonna work? And then it boom, ties in perfectly, and I'm just like, huh. Okay, like it answers it for you. Even like when I started asking those questions, it answers it for me, which is fantastic, and I love that. You know, it's great. The cons aren't many, you know, but they're there. One thing I got annoyed with, and I'm using a Call of Duty term for it because it bugged the fucking hell out of me, was the Commando Pro fucking shit, where a guard or a savage will be like fucking 10 feet away from you and then teleport basically next to you and hit you with an axe because he just jerks over and hits you, and you're just like, the fuck? Like, he was like 10 feet away from me, and he just came out of nowhere and hit me and went from half health to no health, and I died. That was irritating. That is one thing I got. One of probably 2 things I really, really got mad at in this game. Not even get mad, just irritated with and frustrating. The other thing I really got frustrated with was, you know, after you beat a mission or after you do a task, the screen cuts to black, but the outside around you continues and doesn't stop. Like, it would fade to black, and I would end up fading back in, and I'd be dead. And I'd be like, what the hell? How did I die? The screen was black. And it turns out when the screen faded to black, there was an orc hitting you and killing you, and then he'd kill you and then get promoted to captain. You're just like, what the fuck? Like, when the fuck did I die? Like, this is stupid. Like, I'm not dead. Like, it happened to me 3 times, twice with an orc, once with a ghoul. And that was very frustrating, because, you know, you'd just be sitting there and then you died. And you're just like, what the hell? And you have to restart. Or, like, it has to reload your whole, wherever you were. And that's very annoying. I really get annoyed with that. That was probably one of the 2 things I really, really got annoyed with. Some things that were just minor. I feel like there was some sort of button delay where there would be a guy about to attack you, and you hit the counter button, and it wouldn't counter. You were gonna try to dodge, and it wouldn't dodge. And sometimes that gets frustrating at certain points. Sometimes you're just like, all right, whatever. You just get hit. But, you know, when you're like 1 hit away, and then you need that counter, you need that dodge, and you hit it, and it doesn't work, you're just like, what the fuck? That was bullshit. Like, I hit that button. You know you hit that button. Like, everyone has those moments, you know. But that was one minor thing. Another minor thing is that I noticed was with the war chiefs, when you have a bodyguard about to betray them, sometimes they'd run over and be like, yeah, we're about to betray you, and then like it would like act like it was zooming in like on the bodyguard about to betray him, and it would zoom in on nothing. You're just sitting there like, what the hell is this? I'm not looking at anything. I'm looking at a wall, or I'm looking at 3 orcs in the background. So that wasn't a problem that I got irritated with. It was just kind of like, okay, like, fix that, I guess. So it wasn't necessarily a huge problem, but it's just like, fix this, please, you know. Yeah. So yeah, that was all the cons I can think of right now, I guess. Overall, I give the game a 9 out of 10. You know, solid game, solid game, solid sequel. You know, I'm ready for more. No, I'm not really ready for more, but I would definitely am excited to see where this game goes in the future. I want to see more. That's actually a better term. I want to see more. They definitely left room to do it. Now that you don't have to rely on Celebrimbor, and now you're a Wraith. You're not like a Ring Wraith. So I feel like this kind of works in a sense where it should be a trilogy. I think that is honestly the best part of where it could be. And I mean, it would fit, I guess, the whole Lord of the Rings thing. I mean, if you think about it, because Lord of the Rings was a trilogy, The Hobbit was a trilogy, this would be great if it was a trilogy too. You know, and end it there. Or end on a high note. There doesn't even need to be a sequel. I don't really think there necessarily needs to be a sequel of this game. It ends to the point where I think there should. Because it leaves a little bit things, you know, clear, like, empty, like, you're a Wraith now. What the fuck is that? Like, what are you gonna do now? You're a Wraith. You're a Ring Wraith. There isn't a Ring Wraith that's Talion in the Lord of the Rings movie. So, is it possible that Talion took the place as a Wraith? Eventually succumbs to it, or does he die? So I do want to know that. You know, it leaves room for a sequel, but I don't want one if it's not going to be well crafted. Personally, like if I want a sequel, if it's going to be good, that is what I want. So, it wasn't the perfect game either. Like, clearly it had its flaws. I consider it 9 out of 10 because it does play very well and I enjoy it. But, you know, it's not one of those games where it's hugely memorable, like, game of the year. Like, this might go, like, for one of the best role-playing games of all time, but it's not, like, a game of the year. It wasn't, like, The Witcher 3, or it wasn't, like, The Last of Us, or GTA 5. It wasn't a game where I'm like, I need to go back and play this, like, every day. This is a game I beat once, and I'll probably go back in a few months later to beat it again. Like, when I kind of miss it a little bit, after you give it a little bit of a break, you're like, man, I miss this game. This is a lot of fun. I did the same thing with Shadow of Mordor. I beat the Shadow of Mordor twice, and I came back every now and then just to have a little bit of fun, because the gameplay is fun, and I like the mechanics and how it plays. So you go back, you know, you kill a few orcs, you know, dominate a few captains. You're like, all right, that's fun. I'm gonna go now. All right, cool. You know, that's kind of what I did with, you know, Shadow of Mordor. I feel like this game will be the same way. You know, I'll go back and I'll replay it again. And you know, Shadow of Mordor was the first game I platinumed. So I mean, I plan on doing it with the Shadow of War too. So I will keep playing it. And this is one of the games I had a lot of fun playing it. So I'll eventually come back to it. I don't plan on selling it. So and I digitally downloaded it, so I can't sell it. But again, it's like it's one of those games where I knew instantly I was gonna get this game when it was coming out. I knew, because like, I was waiting for this game. I was waiting for this game. I was. So overall, 9 out of 10. You know, if you agree with me, please let me know why you agree, or what you thought was great about the game, or what was bad with the game. It doesn't have to be great to you, because to me, this is my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. Was it a good game? If not, tell me why. I want to know why you think it wasn't as good as a game. Like, what were the bad things you didn't like about it? Please let me know in the comments. We can talk about it. I will answer back as quick as I can. I am busy. I do have school. I do have work. I have everything. It's stressful. But I do get back to you. I will get back to you within the next few days. You know, I do tend to reply. I do reply to all comments most of the time. You know, eventually I get to the comments, but you know, I want to know your guys' opinions. What do you think of the game overall? Let me know, and I will see you guys around. Peace.